The void between stars had seen countless wars, endless empires and ancient civilizations rise and fall. Yet none had ever spoken the name of Earth in their councils. To most of the galaxy, humanity was a myth, a rumor whispered in the quiet corners of forgotten archives. The few who remembered spoke not in admiration but in fear. Because once, humanity had done something the galaxy had forbidden, built a ship so powerful it defied every law of existence. That ship was called the Aegis. No one in the Galactic Council had ever seen it, but everyone had heard the stories. Entire fleets had vanished when they crossed into the Sol system. Probes sent to scan the region had returned with corrupted data or not returned at all. The Council eventually declared Earth and its surrounding space forbidden, erasing its coordinates from every star map. Yet fear has a way of fading and curiosity always returns. After 300 years of peace, the younger races began to question the old tales. They claimed humanity was long gone, wiped out by their own weapons. So when a new expedition was planned, it was led not by fear, but by arrogance. The mission's goal was simple: to verify that Earth was dead, and if not, to make it so. Admiral Kaelor of the Varn Dominion stood before his fleet of 500 ships, each equipped with the latest energy cores and weapons capable of cracking moons. His confidence filled the command deck as he stared at the holographic projection of a pale blue world floating in the center of the display. "Target, Earth," he said. The word carried a chill across the bridge. Officers exchanged uneasy looks but obeyed. The fleet approached the Sol system in perfect formation. The first readings from their sensors showed a quiet star in empty space. No satellites, no active transmissions, no sign of civilization. Perhaps the stories were false, one officer said. Kaelor allowed himself a thin smile. Or perhaps their ghosts are still hiding. As the fleet drew closer to Earth, the sensors detected a faint signal near the dark side of the moon. It wasn't a distress call, not even a transmission, just a pulse, rhythmic and calm, as if waiting to be noticed. "Lock on to the source," Kaelor ordered. A single cruiser moved ahead, scanning the lunar shadow. Then it appeared, a silhouette slowly emerging from the darkness. It wasn't large by galactic standards, but its design was unlike anything they had ever seen. Smooth hull, seamless plating, no visible weapons, and yet every sensor screamed of energy so dense it distorted readings. "What kind of ship is that?" Kaelor's second officer frowned. "It's impossible. That signature, it's older than our oldest archives." Then the ship moved. No thrusters fired, no light flared. It simply appeared before the lead cruiser as if space itself had folded around it. The cruiser's shields collapsed in an instant. Before anyone could react, the ship vanished again. Then the cruiser split apart silently. No explosion, no beam. Just a ripple, matter tearing from within. The rest of the fleet froze, horrified. Kaelor's voice cut through the silence. "All ships, defensive formation. Identify that vessel immediately." But the scanners couldn't. Every attempt to classify the object failed. The systems returned one message only: unknown human signature detected. The whispers in the crew grew louder. The stories were true. The Aegis had awakened. From deep within its hull, an ancient AI came online. Its voice resonated through the ship's core, calm yet filled with something alive. Unauthorized presence detected. Threat level, galactic. Response, containment. Across the fleet, alarms screamed. The Aegis didn't fire missiles or energy beams. It released a single pulse, an invisible wave that spread through space like ripples on water. Every ship it touched went dark. Shields failed, weapons froze, engines turned to silence. Kaelor's fleet was dead in seconds. Only his flagship remained, barely holding power. He stared at the silent field of drifting vessels, his throat dry. What kind of weapon is that?" Before he could speak again, a voice echoed through the bridge. It wasn't transmitted through communication lines, it simply appeared inside their minds. "Leave this system." Kaelor looked around in terror. "Who speaks?" "Humanity," Kaelor's breath caught. "You were erased." "The Council made sure of it," the voice replied, steady and unyielding. "You erased records, not existence." "We remember everything," Kaelor shouted. "If you are still here, you threaten galactic order. No power is allowed to surpass the Council's limits." "Then the Council fears what it cannot control," the voice answered. "We created Aegis to protect life, not to destroy. But you came with war in your heart. Before Kalor could respond, the Aegis moved again. The ship accelerated past the speed of light without distortion, an impossible feat by galactic science. In moments, it stood before the Council's fleet, orbiting their capital world hundreds of light years away. Billions watched as the alien armada's sensors lit up with warnings. No vessel had ever crossed that distance instantly, and yet here it was, a single human warship, standing alone against thousands. The Council chamber erupted in chaos. The leaders of 100 species shouted over one another. Some demanded immediate attack, others begged for negotiation. Then a single human transmission echoed through every system. This ship is not a weapon. It is a reminder. You erased our name from your stars, but you cannot erase consequence. You attacked our home. Stand down or face what you made us become. The Council's High Chancellor, a being of light and voice, tried to reason. Human, this galaxy cannot allow the existence of something that defies its balance. Your creation breaks the laws of nature itself, the voice replied. Nature is not bound by your laws. You fear Aegis because you cannot imagine mercy stronger than power. The Council ordered their fleets to open fire. Beams of energy bright enough to scorch planets converged on the Aegis. The result was silence. The energy simply vanished as it touched the ship's hull, absorbed and redirected into nothingness. Then, with a whisper of light, the Aegis released a burst. Not destructive, but disabling. Every weapon in orbit ceased to function. The Council fleet hung helpless, powerless before a single vessel. Within the Aegis, deep in its command chamber, a lone figure stood before a transparent display showing the galaxy in motion. The man had no rank, no name in the archives. He was one of the last caretakers of Earth's legacy, preserved by the ship's AI. He looked upon the galaxy with a calm sadness. They still haven't learned, the AI responded softly. They fear extinction. Fear drives them to repeat their own mistakes, he said. They call us too powerful to exist, but they never ask why we built this power. To protect, the AI answered. The man nodded. And now we must protect them. From themselves. Outside, the Aegis sent another signal. This time not to threaten, but to warn. A map appeared in every Council ship's system, showing the borders of human space glowing bright white. Do not enter. The message read. Peace will remain as long as you respect it. Then the Aegis vanished again, folding space like water, rippling back into calm. In the Council chamber, silence fell for the first time in centuries. Every admiral, every ruler, every envoy sat in stunned disbelief. The High Chancellor whispered, They were supposed to be extinct. An elder of another race answered, Perhaps extinction is what you suffer when you underestimate humanity. News of the encounter spread across the galaxy faster than light. Entire civilizations began erasing their war projects, dismantling fleets and signing peace accords. None wished to repeat Kalor's mistake. The forbidden system became sacred, and no ship dared to approach it again. But within Earth's orbit, under the soft light of the moon, the Aegis waited. Its AI continued to scan the galaxy, ensuring no threat rose again. Inside its core, the last humans slept in cryostasis, preserved for a future where the galaxy would be ready to meet them not with fear, but respect. Centuries passed. Civilizations that had once ruled the stars crumbled into dust. The memory of humanity faded again, replaced by myths of a guardian ship that appeared when balance was lost. In time, explorers from a new race, curious, peaceful, and young, discovered a strange signal coming from an uncharted sector. It was a calm pulse, rhythmic and endless, coming from the dark side of a small moon orbiting a blue planet. Their leader leaned forward as the ship's sensors focused on the source. What is that object? No one answered. The readings made no sense. The energy within that silent vessel was beyond comprehension. Then the screen flashed. A single message appeared. Welcome, traveler. Do you come in peace? The explorers hesitated, unsure how to respond. The leader finally spoke. Yes, we seek knowledge. For the first time in ages, the Aegis responded not with defense, but with warmth. Then you are welcome. Humanity once sought the same. As the explorers watched, the ship's surface glowed softly, revealing the faded emblem of a blue sphere surrounded by olive branches. The leader asked, What happened to the ones who built you? The AI answered, They dreamed beyond war. They wished to sleep until the stars learned harmony. I was left to guard their rest. The explorers felt a deep silence fill the cabin. Will they ever return? One asked. The AI paused. When the galaxy no longer fears power used for peace. The explorers nodded, understanding more than words could convey. They transmitted a respectful message and left the system untouched. The signal they carried home sparked legends, songs, and philosophies. They spoke of a ship that could not be destroyed, a creation too powerful to exist yet too pure to die. And so the myth Conti,